far as distributing music, that was the first artist-owned business that had done that. And, he was doing hour-long broadcasts, which would be podcasts now,
right,
that we were distributing at the time. So, there was a lot of ground being broken.
Welcome to Musicians Reveal. Joe Kelley here. Our next guest, he's well familiar with most of our audience, but if you don't know who he is, he's worked with Avril, Lavigne, Pearl Jam, and of course, a man by the name of Prince and all things Paisley Park. He's joined at the hip with Prince's online experience, and we are really excited to have once again back on the show, Sam Jennings. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing good. Hello.
Yeah. People, they're always excited when they hear from you, so.
Oh, all right.
I want to go back to Chicago, where I think I first became aware of you and the Prince fan groups and stuff like that. Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago and
Sure.
Prince fandom back then.
Yeah, so that was the mid-'90s is when it all started. And so that's when the internet was first becoming like a thing, and I was studying it in college. And of course, the first thing I did was try to find other Prince fans when I got online. And I did find a bunch all over the world. And I decided, let's get the Chicago ones together at least. So we started having parties. And then we took the parties to the Berlin nightclub, and we started doing that once a month. And yeah, it was a fun thing. We did it for like 14 years, but it brought all these fans together and everyone could come visit. We had a pretty good scene going on for a long time there.
So you did that once a month, right?
Once a month, 14 years.
That's a lot. That's a lot on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back then, Joe Primus was working there too with you, right?
Yeah.
Was Joe with you? Yeah. And was you had a bunch of, you had a whole team of people. Julian Stefani, was he out there at the time?
Who's that?
Julian Stefani.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, he came to the studio and performed one time when we were in Connecticut. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So the Berlin nightclub, did Prince ever do after show there?
No, it wasn't really set up for that, but there was one night where he might have come, and he almost did, but then something happened with the band and he couldn't make it. But this close.
Yeah. Well, that's rare, changing his mind like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was at the Metro, he did a big after show there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's done after shows in Metro and Riviera and Park West, a bunch of places.
Wow. I remember you online. Let me Sam Nation, that was your screen name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prince Org, you're a big participant, right?
I'm friends with them, yeah.
No, we're online. I think I saw you on the Prince Org a bunch of times.
Probably.
Yeah. When did Prince become aware of your presence and kind of perked his ear up and try to find out a little bit about you?
Well, around 97, 98, he started getting interested in getting fans involved in creating websites with him. And the first one being the Crystal Ball Project, where a lot of different people contributed different song and lyrics and stuff like that. And I wasn't involved in that one, but later he wanted to do Love for One Another. And I did get involved with that one just because I knew somebody who was already working on it. And I was a web professional. Mm-hmm. And they were like, this is probably something you should work on too. And so I got involved that way, working on loveforanother.com.
Who was working on it with you as well, or before you?
It was a collective of people, maybe a dozen that worked on it, and I don't remember everyone's name, but everyone was just contributing their time and their energy to kind of make it something special with him.
So you were doing this all remotely, I assume, right? Back then?
Yeah, at first I was doing it all remotely from Chicago.
Okay. And that was the charity, and it branched off into a little bit more of what he was doing music-wise, right?
Right.
Yeah. What was the decision with that? He just said, I need this, I want to do this?
Well, as far as the music goes, he, at the end of a year for loveforanother.com, he decided to close it on New Year's Day, 2000, going into 2000. And he kind of pulled me aside and said, hey, I want to start using this to distribute music, and let's explore that. and that started NPG Online Ltd.com. And that was kind of like the precursor to the music club. It was kind of us experimenting, and we were meeting with people in the industry about what the possibilities were and how we could do this music club, which led to the launch a year later, then in 2001, of the MPG Music Club, first version.
Yeah. And yeah, first version. There was actually 3, I believe, right?
Yeah, but there were a bunch.
Yeah, that's right. So obviously you gained his trust. And when did he first have you come out to Paisley Park?
Well, there was one time where basically Steve Park, who was doing the creative at the time,
Right.
he was busy with something else. He couldn't make it out there. So he said, well, I need some help with a retail catalog, which never came out. But, like, can you fly up and work on it?
Right.
And I said, sure. So I came up there and worked with some of his staff. I didn't really work directly with him very much so far. But that was the first time. That was probably, like, end of 2001.
Were you up there full time or back and forth?
Back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to move up there, just because I figured, just from the stories people tell, he's calling you at 3 a.m, wanting you to come in, and Chicago is close enough.
Yeah, yeah. I got calls from some of his one of his band members from the Chanhassen hotel down the road.
Yeah.
Talking about issues with stuff, but yeah, I mean, you've seen it all. I'm gonna ask you to divulge everything, but how was he like working? First of all, what was your impression meeting Prince in person under kind of a work environment, potentially? Yeah,
it was interesting. Like, I started going up there more and more, and eventually I did meet him, and we had brief conversations at first, but it was one of those things where, as a fan, I'm kind of, my heart's beating fast. I'm very kind of like, oh, geez, is this really happening?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm trying to be professional and keep it cool and talk about work. And I found that he was really easy to work with. I mean, he was always very polite, always very nice to me. And, eventually working together more and more, we just developed a really good working relationship.
Was there? Did you saw the humorous side while you were working with him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
He's got a very snarky sense of humor.
Yeah. What's one of the funniest things he did while you were working?
Let's see. I've told this story before, but it stands out in my memory because we were at the 3121 house, the Boozer house.
Okay.
And we were having dinner. And I would often bring my family out, and we would stay in one of the guest houses. And at the time, I was married. I had a 2-year-old daughter, 3-year-old. And I would bring them out, and we'd hang out. And so we were eating dinner one night, and my daughter, Ava, she was getting a little antsy, a little like she didn't want to sit there anymore. And Prince said, you guys finish eating. Let me take her. I'll show her the hair salon. Because, of course, he had a hair salon in his house.
Right.
So they go down there, and we're sitting at the table. Then all of a sudden, like a few minutes later, running out from the corridor is Ava with a head-to-toe wig on, looking like Cousin It from the Addams Family. And she's running around the table, and he's over in the corner laughing. It was really cute.
Wow. And those parties, I mean, you must have seen some great jams with a lot of different... were you there when Stevie Wonder was playing?
Yeah, I was.
Wow,
that was at the first 3121 house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that picture, I think Afshin did it, right?
Right.
That's one of my favorite pictures. Yeah. Because you rarely, at least you've probably seen a lot more than I have pictures, but you rarely see Prince in kind of that, like, not guarded mode and kind of posing mode. That was a really great shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. As far as the crazy hours like that, you wanted to, I don't know if you said it on my show or somebody else's podcast, but you said that you had the distance by being in Chicago, possibly. You kind of needed that, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually, when we got things going in sort of a rhythm, I would go up to Paisley once a month, and I'd spend maybe 4 or 5 days there, and we'd work together, and he'd kind of give me assignments to take for homework, basically, and then I go home and work it all out. So the way I figured it is, if I was in Minneapolis, I'd probably get burned out on him, and he'd probably get burned out on me.
Right.
And so it wouldn't last that long. But if I had a little distance, just a 45-minute flight away, then I think the chances of my lasting longer greatly improve. Just because he's just known to burn people out really quick, and especially if you're down the street.
And you're one of the ones, I mean, it's different than playing instruments, but you're one of the ones who hung around and worked for the longest time.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. At least 10 years, right?
It's about 9 years.
9 years, okay. How frustrating could it be, because we know he's touring all the time, when you had something to get his approval, getting the answer right away? Was that frustrating at times?
No, he was really on it. Like he was on his computer a lot, and he'd check emails and check messengers. He was really communicative, and even at Paisley Park, like he would call me and say, "Is there something to see?" And he'd come up and check out what I'm doing. And there was this one time, it's kind of a funny story. Like I had some pictures or photos that I had edited, and he needed to sign off on. So he's like, come on, walk with me. So we start walking down the hallway. He's looking at him. Then he goes into the rehearsal space. And he goes up onto the stage behind the drum kit. And then he signs off on them, hands them to me, and starts playing the drums, like right in front of me. That was funny.
Yeah, just great memories. And of course, you alluded to the NPG Music Club, and we love the NPG Music Club. The initial part of it, you talked about he wanted to distribute his music. What was the initial talk with him, and was it really difficult to get off the ground?
It was challenging because, at the time, this is 2001. Now we have streaming, we can do live video on the internet and all that stuff. At the time, that just didn't exist. And what also didn't exist was broadband. Everyone was on dial-up. So everyone's connection was really slow, besides the technology. So we were kind of working in a very limited environment, trying to do really big things. And so it took us a while to kind of hammer that out and figure out what the way forward was. And I think we found some success. I mean, there was, as far as distributing music, there was the first artist-owned business that had done that. Mm-hmm. And he was doing hour-long broadcasts, which would be podcasts now, that we were distributing at the time. So I mean, there was a lot of ground being broken.
I got to thank you personally, you and Prince. You put the Upper Room with Joe Kelley right on the front page, March 2004, right before Musicology Tour started. So, big thanks to you for that, and Prince.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, supporting an independent show, that was cool. A lot of people were, having Prince, and you're right there with Prince. That brings notoriety, and thanks to our show for doing that for our show.
Awesome.
Yeah. You were right in the mix with Prince. Did you feel pressure from people you knew in the past who were Prince fans to give you the inside track of information? Was there a lot of pressure with that?
No, not really.
Okay.
People were pretty cool. I mean, I knew a lot of people because of the Berlin parties, and so they were familiar with who I was. And so, I didn't isolate myself. I didn't try to be unapproachable. I just was out there every month. You could come say hi to me. And people were pretty cool about it. No one really made a big deal. We were just all friends.
The tickets for the NPG Music Club members, I had a great first row seat for Musicology.
Oh, yeah.
And we were almost too close to the stage. My wife couldn't see Renato the whole concert because we were so close, but it was great. And whose idea was that to do that in the sound checks and everything like that?
That was definitely Prince's. I was suggesting that we give fans access to the best seats, and he was into that. And the soundtrack thing kind of evolved. He did it once as just to kind of try it out, that he felt comfortable doing it, and the fans were really cool with it. So we started doing it more and more. And then it just became part of what he was offering with the tickets. Yeah, that was his idea. And we were fortunate to work with AEG on the Musicology Tour, and they set aside a whole chunk of tickets just for us, which was great.
Wow. So you caught a bunch of the shows on the tour?
Yeah, I'd say about a dozen.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Were you there the premiere out in L.A.?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The tickets were how stressful was that getting that coordinated? Were you the main person arranging everything for that?
Yeah, pretty much it went like Prince and me, and then I had to figure everything out from there. So the ticketing thing was a challenge because we tried to sell tickets on our site, and that's always at that time because it's slow internet speeds and limited servers. There was always like issues here and there, but eventually we did get it smoothed out, and we sold a ton of tickets for the Musicology Tour, especially through the site, which was really great. And but every time it was like, hold on, like don't crash, please.
Did you ever see him lose his cool when something went wrong with the site?
Not really. I mean, he just kind of he would just kind of say, fix it, handle it, take care of it.
Okay, he put the trust in you. Yeah.
He never was. Honestly, he was never rude to me. Never like gave me a hard time.
Wow. Yeah.
His band members, I'm sure they've got different stories, but as far as I was concerned,
Yeah.
I was.
You have
pretty
your
safe.
own story, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The decline, not decline, and it wasn't a decline of the NPG Music Club. It was just Prince's decision that he wanted to shut it down and go other. You've told the story on our show, but for those who haven't heard, it was the night he won and you won with Prince the Webby Award, right?
Yeah, it was exactly 20 years ago. This June, actually. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, exactly 20 years ago. He let me come to the ceremony to accept the NPG Music Club Award, and he got one separately, Lifetime Achievement Award. So I gave up and I came up and did my speech, and then he came up and did his thing, which I'm sure you've seen online.
Right.
And then afterwards we went to a restaurant. I think it might have been Butter in New York City, and
Okay, sounds yeah.
we were just sitting there and talking and drinking port, I think, which I didn't really like, but he
was paying for it.
yeah, and he said, I think this is like a plateau. This is like a major goal that we've reached. Is it going to get any better than this? Maybe we should think about doing something different, doing something new, and move on from the music club to something else, and see what we can do. And he didn't lay out anything specific, but just that let's kind of brainstorm and come up with something.
You think it took the wind out of the sails for him on the internet side by closing that down, or?
Yeah, I think a little bit, because we never did wind up doing anything major after that, and Vegas came up and he got wrapped up in that, and he did the residency there. So that was right after the NPG Music Club. We started working on the Rio. So he just got wrapped up in that. Then he was doing the Super Bowl. It's just kind of like, life took over.
Yeah. How many, did you spend a lot of time in Vegas while he was doing the residency?
Yeah, I was there for about 2 months.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I worked with the Rio team it's Vegas. They have a million ways to advertise. So
Right.
I was the guy to churn out all the advertising for that and all the different things and the posters and the retail and you name it.
Yeah, the picture right on the hotel, huge thing. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. So there was 2006 is when the music club closed down officially, right?
Yes.
And then you did the Vegas thing, and then when was the end officially, or did he have the exit interview with him?
Not quite.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't until the end of 2007.
Okay.
He kind of called me and said he was taking a break. He was going to go on a hiatus, and so basically that meant that all of us weren't going to get paid during that time. And so my thought was, well, I still have a mortgage, and maybe I've done just about everything I can with Prince. Like I've done CDs, tour books, the list goes on.
Right.
Maybe it's time to try something new. So I decided just to kind of look around and see what else I could find while he was on break. and then that's when I met up with Pearl Jam,
Right.
and kind of went in that direction instead.
And working with Prince for 9 years, you really can't have any better resume than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And you still have that. So, I was going to ask you about we'll talk about the music club right now, and then we'll move on to other things. But a lot of people you've heard, I know, and you've talked about the resurrection of a NPG music club. Do you think that's ever going to happen? Like something like that?
I kind of wonder because on the one hand, you've obviously got the fan demand for something like that, and that makes sense. But as far as from a business perspective, I'm not sure if the estate is willing to make that kind of investment. That's probably not going to have a big return. Like the number of hardcore Prince fans that would be into that, the numbers, it's kind of going down every year as we get older.
I could see the analytics for our show. It's like 55 and older, and mostly male now. So, which is
yeah. So a big return on investment. I don't really know if that's going to happen with a music club. It'd have to be done in a way that was very low overhead, very not expensive to do. And there's different ways to do it. Like doing a show on like Twitch or some other streaming network, or doing podcasts again and kind of previewing what's coming. Mm-hmm. It could be stuff like that, or team up with a Spotify or somebody and release music through at NPG Music Club there. There's a few ideas, but I haven't heard anything official. So
through the years, have they the last 10 years, have they knocked on your door and asked you for advice on the club, the resurrection of it?
No, they have not.
Yeah. Missed opportunity so far for them.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think they're still just trying to figure out what the best business model is to handle his legacy. And I don't think they've figured that out yet.
Right. They're kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
A little bit. You have designed some great designs for Prince's album and tour books. That 3121, that is incredible. That design on there. How did that come about? The album cover.
That came out pretty naturally. Like basically, after musicology, and after the tour, I got started right away on what at the time was called Lotus Flower. So. I started designing an album package for Lotus Flower, and that's when I came up with that one image that you've probably seen that's in the mural at Paisley Park, the one where standing on a guitar in front of a lotus. Yeah, so that was going to be the cover of the album. But as time went on, and I think as the parties grew more important to him at the house, that's when it evolved to 3121. And he was doing a performance... I think, it was some award show in Pasadena. I don't remember which one, but basically he was wearing the jacket that says 3121 on the back.
Oh yeah, that's that 12-minute performance.
Yeah,
and that was a great one. Yeah,
Afshin was with him just to take photos, and I think they were just taking pictures of the jacket, like they didn't really intend to capture him. Mm-hmm. But I got the photos back, and I was looking at them. I thought, it says right there, really big, 3121. Like, that seems like a really good cover. Yeah. And it's got him in silhouette. Like, we all know who it is. We don't need to say, like, Prince, really big.
Right.
And I just thought, it'd be a really cool cover. Like, I'll spruce up the colors a bit and highlight the numbers some more. But, you've probably seen in Afshin's book, the original photo. Like, it just captured it really well. And I just thought, that'll work. And... what's funny is that it was like a 2-year process to get that album package done, and there were so many different track lists over the years, and ideas for the package changed, and it was going to be a 2-disc thing at some point. But the one thing that stayed the same was that cover. That cover always, through the whole thing, maintained the front. And I was really glad when it finally got printed. Like, we made it past the finish line. He didn't change it,
and he said he green-lighted it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Backtracking a few years, another great project that you were heavily involved in, the Nite Alone Box Set. That picture and the design and that's incredible. That How involved were you with the whole package on there?
Like I said, it was him and me, and figured it out.
Right.
And a pile of F. Sheen's photos.
Right.
And we pulled a lot of quotes from the website because we'd asked the fans to kind of give reviews as the tour went on, the One Nite Alone tour. And so we pulled all these quotes from the website and worked with them with the photos from F. Sheen. I mean, he deserves a lot of credit for that, but I was the one who put it all together, did the press checks, met with the people manufacturing it, and the whole thing.
We saw I think it was the last show on the North American up in Montreal. We saw it when Larry Graham came out. They did like that 20-minute version of Days of Wild. I think they released that eventually. And Prince had a Montreal Canadiens jersey on for the encore, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to show you something. I don't know if you were involved in this or somebody from Chicago, but I found this today. It's the 3121. It's reversed. Wow. It'll look, but on the front, someone designed this for our show.
Nice.
So I don't know if you did that or someone in the organization did it, but I got two of them. Okay.
Wasn't me. Me.
So whoever did that, thank you. It was great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. The tour books, I'm interested because we collected through the years all different kinds of tour books. How involved are you with all the packaging for that?
Yeah, same thing. It's just me and the photos doing a dance till we get it right.
Right.
But I collected all of Prince's tour books that he had up to that point. I brought them with me up to Paisley, and I don't think he had even seen some of them in quite a while. So it was really interesting to kind of go through it and try and get some new ideas on things we could do in the tour books.
What's your favorite? First, I'll ask you before you started working on his tour books. What was your favorite tour book?
Definitely the Gold Experience tour book.
Oh, okay.
The one that Steve Park did.
Right.
It's just really artistic, really beautiful. I love all the way he collaged the images. Definitely that one.
And you guys had an overlap of time working for a little bit while you were there, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it's just gradually as I got more involved, I was doing the website already, and then collaborating with Steve on some things, and then just eventually my responsibilities just sort of grew and grew. But I definitely was friends with Steve at the time, and still friends with him.
Yeah, good guy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Of the tour book that you had your hands on, do you have a favorite?
The Musicology Tour book I really liked.
Oh, okay.
The photo on the front, spent a lot of time working on that photo to get it just right. It was kind of funny at that time. Prince and F. Sheen were shooting a lot of photos all the time, but sometimes Prince didn't always quite look his best. Like maybe he was just a little too tired, and he would just tell F. Sheen Sam will fix it.
Right. Okay.
And so it just kind of fell on me, make him look great, make him sparkle.
And now you can even make it. It's a lot easier now to do stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, a whole lot easier. I mean, because sometimes cutting images out, it's just doing it manually, just going along the edge of him and trying to put him in a different environment. Yeah, it's a lot easier now.
I was going to ask you about post Prince a little bit before, because your accomplishments are incredible. Working with Ebony Magazine, Pearl Jam was the first gig?
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
After Pearl Jam for a couple of years?
Uh-huh.
How about Ebony Magazine? Were you primarily on the website for that?
Yeah, mostly web marketing, a lot. Mostly that. Ebony, it's kind of been going through a weird process for the past however many years.
Right.
It's slimmed down from a big company in Chicago to a skeleton crew, basically, and changed hands a few times as far as owners go. So it was a volatile time when I was there.
And we should remind our viewers, we'll have the links and everything, to go to samjennings.com. You can just spend a lot of time there, find out about all his things that he's done throughout the years. And also, all the stuff we've been talking about with Prince, and that Sam has had his hands and ideas with PrinceOnlineMuseum.com, which is it's incredible. I mean, have you gone through everything on there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, putting that together was a lot of fun. And kind of taking some of the old sites and trying to upgrade them to 2020 standards.
Right.
That was a bit of a challenge, especially because we were using so much Flash at the time.
Oh, that's
in
right.
the later years. With this, I was working with this guy named Ash Warren, who was really good at Flash. But then Flash got discontinued, so now we have to use a plugin to see the Flash stuff. But yeah, that was one thing I thought after Prince passed. I thought there's going to be plenty of articles about what was his best bass solo and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
I wanted to tell the story of what he had done online, and just to remind people, like, he did have some major accomplishments that people hadn't done, that artists hadn't done before on the web.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's going from, I think the earliest site up there is 96, maybe.
It'd probably be Prince Interactive.
Okay, right.
Anil Dash does a walkthrough of Interactive CD.
Okay, and then with Third Eye Girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to name who told me this, but I got to give you. I knew things were different, the online Prince experience, because I talked with someone who was involved in a later site, and I asked about the vault, and they said, "What's the vault?" So I didn't say anything, but I thought it was kind of like, yeah, it's a little different than when Sam was aboard.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the cool thing. Like, because I was coming from the fan world, I did have a deep knowledge of his catalog and what he was about, and
Right.
not a lot of people at Paisley had that. Like, they're just kind of hired guns, which great, they did their job wonderfully, but they weren't necessarily fountains of Prince knowledge. So. Mm-hmm. He'd ask somebody, "Can you get Sam to print out the lyrics to this particular song so I can have them?" And they would come in like, "Do you know a song called Dolphin?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it for you.
Did you go in the vault at all?
No, I never did.
Okay.
I don't think he was really doing much stuff with it at the time. Like, he was always recording, but I don't know where those tapes went.
Right. The stuff that hasn't been released that you're aware of, do you have any stuff that you would love to see the light of day?
Well, just from a fan perspective, I think there's a whole lot of material, especially with the revolution around that period of time, which was obviously a very creative time, between Purple Rain and Love Sexy. He was just recording so much. Mm-hmm. It'd be great to hear some more of those songs, or different versions or demos or something like that. And just me personally, stuff I've heard. It'd be nice if one day there was a 3121 expanded edition, because there were a lot of songs that didn't make the cut, which I think could be for a nice little package. Again, I don't know what the return on investment would be on that, but I think it'd be cool.
I'd like to hear that the Black Sweat, the James Brown version of it that he was playing in the Musicology documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be something. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Prince was notorious for filming most of his shows. How easy is that to get ready for release? Because I mean, they're spaced out pretty far. Is it a big undertaking to get them ready?
I don't think so. I mean, I remember the Musicology Tour. He'd play the show, and then he'd kind of find a club or somewhere to hang out afterwards, and he'd often have the show there and have us watch part of it, or have the band watch it. So they look good. They look good to me. I mean, unless they've been sitting under a leaky sink, I think they'd be fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fans, they're ready for it whenever it comes up. Did you see the Glam Slam one? Of course.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That was incredible. That. Yeah, dancing on the bar.
I couldn't believe they were hiding that.
Yeah, and just the musicianship. I mean, hearing Sonny's bass coming through really strong through the mix was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Avril Lavigne and projects like that. How did you get affiliated with Avril?
Well, it was during the pandemic. Ebony was kind of wrapping up, and I had a friend who has a media company, and he got involved in streaming an Avril concert during the pandemic online. Remember when like bands would kind of do that? They do virtual concerts.
Yeah, right.
Because people couldn't go to venues. Mm-hmm. So Avril was going to do one of those. And they need somebody with some web front end skills and some design skills to kind of do some of the extra work for the show. So I got invited in, and I worked really closely with her team, and they really liked what I did. And so when the show was over, they're like, there's a lot of other things you could do. How about you join up and start working on that? So I did.
Did you do the tour book as well?
She didn't do a tour book, but
okay.
I did the website, and I worked on her album, and I did work on some of the graphics for retail, and just kind of updating the site ongoing. And she's a very different artist than Prince. Like she takes long gaps between when she's busy. Like she'll be busy, and then she'll just kind of take a break for like a while.
Right.
Which is fine. That's just her thing. But there's very few artists that did work as hard as Prince.
You never saw her let up with Prince through his work kind of all the stuff he did from when you first met him till 2007?
Not really, no. I mean, because sometimes we'd be hanging out at the 3121 house when I was staying in the guest house, and he'd call me at like 12 or 12:30, and he'd say, "Hey, do you want to go out and do something?" And I'd say, "Sure." And of course, it's LA, so everything closes at 2, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. But every night it was like, is he going to want to go back and work on stuff? Because I really hope he doesn't. But it would happen sometimes. We'd get back to the house, and he'd say, I have some ideas, so let's work them out.
He never understood there's other things going on in people's lives. He expected you to just jump in, right?
Yeah, he was in full service to his creative needs. So,
right.
And that was pretty rare, and that's one of the things I admired about him.
Yeah, I'm sure we haven't met another one like him, and probably will never in our lifetimes. That's for sure. You do a lot of great website work, samjennings.com, and you do stuff. Do you do outsourced stuff or for websites and stuff like that?
Like freelance work?
Yeah, freelance work. I meant, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've done some projects. I've done some projects for like Ricky Martin and Carrie Underwood and a few things here and there, just sort of on the side, just when people need help.
Okay. Speaking of Prince fans, have they lightened up over the years about being in demand, or do you think it's been more since Prince passed away for output of Prince's stuff?
Like, are the fans more feverish for new stuff or less feverish?
Yeah. Do you see them more demanding since Prince passed?
To a degree, because I think when he was alive, it was kind of like people took a little step back and said, well, he'll do it when he's ready, or he'll do it on his own schedule. I mean, of course, they were like, they wanted it tomorrow, but
right.
I think they were willing to give him some grace as far as what he wanted to do. And now that he's not a part of the decision making, I think there's more of an attitude of like, well, why isn't more coming out? Like, he's not here stopping it. Mm-hmm. So why isn't the flow just steady coming out the vault?
Right. Yeah.
All the time, instead of these releases every 1 or 2 years, So in a way, they're kind of, I think, a little more eager.
Right. And for Sam's sake, 3121 Super Deluxe Edition, let's make his dream come true. And involvement on it. That has to happen.
Yeah, I got to be involved in the re-release of the Nite Alone set, the box set in 2020.
Oh yeah.
And that was really great, because then I got to go in and I could fix a lot of things that I can do better now, and just make it a more robust package. And it was really great to kind of go in there and revisit some of that stuff. But one of the weird things was, it was the first Prince project I worked on without Prince, without him there, telling me, guiding me, telling me what to do. So that was really strange.
And you still had to get approval by somebody for the project?
Yeah. Somebody, but there's no guiding hand there.
Right, yeah. Of a project you were involved with working with Prince, what is the most disappointing project that maybe he said no to, which never came out?
We had ideas of doing like a series of compilation discs and kind of putting them into like an anthology and grouping them into like love songs or spiritual songs or dance songs and doing it that way. And we had a whole layout for it and a whole package. And yeah, just he didn't want to do it. And another one was the Musicology DVD. Like, I think I made that package like 5 times.
Wow.
No, this time it's really going to come out. And then, of course, it never came out.
Was it for one show or a compilation of performances?
It was a compilation of performances.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So,
Which I never saw, but
what's that?
I never got to see it, but I got to work on the package for it.
Yeah. I'm sure it's outstanding, and the footage, unless it was under that leaky sink, is still somewhere. I think it's out your way. His stuff now, right?
What's that?
The stuff from the vault was moved out your way, right?
Oh yeah. It's down in Hollywood somewhere.
Okay, right. A project. The final question I'll ask you about a project that Prince and you were involved in, which you think is misunderstood a bit by the fans. Does anything come to mind?
Misunderstood. I don't know. I think with the music club at the time, it was a little misunderstood because now, in retrospect, 20 years later, we could kind of go, oh, that was a really cool period of time. We got so much music, great tickets, etc. But at the time, there's still a lot of people who were skeptical about what we could accomplish and what Prince's involvement was really going to be. Is he going to get tired of it? Is he going to ignore it after a while? So there was a little kind of mixed feelings about the club at that time, I think. But now with perspective, I think people can see how valuable it was.
Yeah, most Prince fans still that I talk to, they say they want that back. So
right.
Yeah. But yeah, great stuff. And the MPG Music Club chat, I got to tell you a quick story on that. When he did the chat, he answered my question. I actually met my wife through the gun microphone. I'll do a condensed story about it. Do you know the New Power New York? They used to have the fan group. I posed a question on there about Prince's gun mic, and she answered me privately. And 6 months later, I was heading up to Montreal. She was a Prince fan. So we got married eventually, but I asked during the chat the question to Prince, what was the meaning of the gun microphone? And that's how me and she was my fiance then, but so he answered, and the answer to my question is the quote at Paisley Park in the case with the gun microphone. So the roundabout way like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, you were involved in that chat, right? That he was answering a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I think you probably heard this before, but like as far as the MPG Music Club chat was concerned, there was a group of us that would kind of come in and assume the Paisley Park name,
right?
But it was numbered 1 through 9. There were 9 accounts. They all had the same password, so you could go in as any number. He could go in as any number he wanted to. So it kind of kept a little bit question like who you're actually talking to. But I know when he said it was him, it was definitely him.
Yeah. No, I was talking about, you remember the thing it's still on Prince Online Museum with the questions he answered from the fans and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, you've been with the greatest. You work with Prince, so I mean, I'm biased, but
yeah,
but yeah, that's right. But I got to thank you for being kind to our radio show and now the podcast on YouTube that we've been doing. And before we head off, let's talk about your Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? And you've been doing that since the pandemic, right?
Yeah, almost 5 years. Yeah. When the pandemic happened, a lot of DJs kind of shifted to Twitch to stream DJ sets because they couldn't work in clubs. And it was a way for them to get some income and also to stay connected with their fans. And so there was a guy I followed, Dave Paul, who did Prince nights around the country.
Okay.
And he kept posting on Facebook all the time, like, come see my Twitch show. And so I went over there, and I just wound up finding a whole community of people, and thought I could do that too. So I started streaming music, and I started streaming Prince music, and met all the Prince fans in Twitch. And so that's been fun. It's a really vibrant community. Everyone's a hardcore music lover.
Yeah, it's like the pandemic. We stopped working at the radio station because of the pandemic, and now everything's here. But you can't play music on YouTube for the artists who come on your show, so it's twice the work.
Right.
Putting it out on another outlet. But hey, that's the way it is. Yeah.
Right.
SamJennings.com for our viewers and listeners out there, and also PrinceOnlineMuseum.com, because you go on there and Sam is preserving a huge part of Prince's career, the online experience. When he was the guy, he still is the guy. So many things that he helped Prince through, because Prince couldn't do everything like that himself. He was making the music, and you were there, trusted person to do it for him.
Right.
So
yeah, he wanted to do everything.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but he couldn't, right? But yeah, thanks, and I'm sure the fans. I mean, people think Prince online experience. Sam Jennings is the name that comes to most of us. So you're appreciated. Yeah. All right. Thank you.